Metal Up World, this is CJ with CJOrtiz.com and MetzelMotivation.com. This is the first of a new 5-message series I'm doing on It's Easier Said Than Done. Now, this is all shown in my Life Domination online coaching program, which is something I would love for you to join. It's easy to use and easy to do. If you'd like to learn more, you can visit the link below for more information. I'll have more to say about it at the end of this video. It's easier said than done. That may seem like a strange title for a motivational series, but guess what? That phrase is the single number one comment that I have received on social media in the last 10 years that I have been doing Metal Motivation. That's right. The single most often comment that I have heard and seen from people online to the content that I have produced in the last 10 years is this: it's easier said than done. So I offer a piece of advice, I offer a piece of motivational content, and they write, "Dude, that's easier said than done." Why do they feel the need to say something? Now, obviously, you've heard that phrase before. It's common parlance. It's a phrase we use often. It's easier said than done. But what exactly does that mean? What does it mean it's easier said than done? What's the purpose of saying that? My argument is simply this. Everything is easier said than done, Hot Rod. Everything. It's easier for me to tell my kid to brush your teeth than it is for he or she to actually do it. It's easier for me to say, go mow the lawn, than it is for somebody to actually do it. It's easier for someone to tell me to do something than it is for me to actually do it. Everything in life is easier said than done. So what is the point of saying it? I'll tell you what the point of saying it is. It's an excuse. It's an excuse, and it's a way to evade attention. It's a way to evade the focus being on you that you haven't done what you should be doing. Let's face it, we all like to dress ourselves up in excuses. Excuses. What is the root cause of an excuse? Simply this: self-preservation. Our strongest drive in life is self-preservation, and that means whether it's just staying alive or protecting ourselves. We are trying to protect ourselves. Now, in the first world, things like that are important. When you're in the third world, nobody cares about that kind of stuff. They're just trying to stay alive. They're just trying to, maintain and keep water and food on the table. No, not us. We have water and food on the table. We have electricity. We have air conditioning. We have TV and roads and transportation and sanitation systems. We don't worry about the basic livelihoods of life. What we worry about is being guilty. What we worry about is being shamed. What we worry about is being exposed. That's what we worry about. Self-preservation out here in the first world manifests a whole lot differently than it does when you're fighting for survival. You just don't want to be shamed because you know you haven't done what you were supposed to do. There is no standard you're meeting up to. It's not my standard you're trying to equate to. It's your own standard or the lack thereof. See, a lot of people want to pretend that they're living with no standard, that they don't answer to anybody. But standards are an unavoidable, inescapable reality. You can never escape a standard. Standards are just always going to be a part of life. Even for those who are just sirrah, whatever will be, will be. In other words, throw all caution to the wind. You can do whatever the hell you want. Not true, because there's certain things they don't want done to them. The people who talk about liberty the most don't necessarily want somebody else's liberty exercised on them. You see, everybody's going to say it's easier said than done, because they don't want to have to answer the obligation that they have to themselves. They don't want to answer up and own up to the responsibility that they have, the sacred duty that they have to live the life they're supposed to live. But if we truly want to make a difference in things, if we talk a big game about changing the world, if we talk a big game about how everything is so bad, well, then what are you doing about your world? What are you doing about your life? What are you doing about cultivating principles and standards for yourself that you're going to live by, things that you're going to achieve and do? If you're not doing that, then sure, your first answer is going to be, it's easier said than done. But again, everything is easier said than done, is it not? Everything is easier said than done. So why do we say these things? We say these things because they are convenient excuses to cover over the fact that we haven't done what we said we were going to do. We haven't lived the kind of life we were going to live. We haven't, kept to the right diet. We haven't done what we needed to do career-wise. All the things we said we were going to do, we haven't done. We haven't been who we needed to be in our relationships. Whatever the issue is, we know there's still that standard. We know there's still that expectation that we have on ourselves to be better than who we are right now, to do more than what we've done right now, to achieve more than what we've achieved so far, to earn more even than we've earned so far. We're quick to say it's easier said than done. It's just a thing that we say to cover ourselves over. It's excuses. But the truth is, we look ridiculous when we're all dressed up in excuses. So the point is to get us to the place where we don't feel the need to say such things. That when someone offers counsel to us, or when someone gives a motivational tip, when someone gives a piece of life advice, that we embrace it, that we're open to correction, that we're open to be teachable, that we're humble, that we're willing to listen to others who can speak into our lives and help us create the life that we've always wanted. There's no need to be defensive over something like that. There's nothing that we have to protect. Throw yourself on the mercy of the court and say, I'm guilty, man. Show me the way. Give me the principles that I can live by. That doesn't mean you're subservient to somebody else. It doesn't mean somebody else is better than you because they didn't make that up. I always tell people this. If there's anything that I have ever said to you that has worked in your life, a principle that maybe I have taught or shared with you that has worked to change your life, there's no way it belongs to me, right? There's no way it belongs to me. Any more than 2 + 2 = 4 belongs to your first grade teacher when they taught it to you. This truth is in the world. Wisdom, understanding, knowledge, these things are in the world. They exist without you and me being here to think them. 2 + 2 is still going to equal 4 even when you and me are long gone, right? 2 + 2 will still equal 4. The laws of flight will still work. All the laws of physics and engineering and electricity, all the wonderful things that we experience in the world are still going to be working even if you and I, as thinking entities, are no longer here. The principles are what have authority. The principles are the standards. The principles are what we honor. The principles are what we are all subject to. You're not subject to one another. No one is greater or better than you or has authority over you, but the principles do. You don't break principles, man. They break you. You don't break laws, man. The laws eventually break you. So let's change our attitude, shall we? Let's embrace that calling to personal change, to personal development. Let's not try to get by in life every day with just finding enough motivational inspiration to keep tolerating a life that we don't like. Don't you think it's time you change things? Don't you think it's time you went a different direction? Don't you think it's time you got back to living your best life? Don't you think it's time? It's time for you to fulfill the calling that you have in life, to live your dream, to follow your passions, to see what's possible, man. Let's bang on the walls of this universe and see what's possible for you. Let's see what answers come out. Let's see what develops in your life. Well, that's what I'm covering all this week in the Life Domination Online Coaching Program. If you'd like to see the rest of these videos, well, it's easy to do. Just join my Life Domination Online Coaching Program. You say, what is that? The Life Domination Online Coaching Program is an easy-to-use, internet-based coaching program which I administrate. It's all taking place in a private Facebook group, and you and I get a chance to work closely together. The only other people in the group are people just like you, motivated people that are looking to change their lives. Like I said, it's easy to do because it's on Facebook. You can do it all from your smartphone, so it takes just minutes a day, 5 videos a week on a single subject, and you have access to the complete archives of previous video series done in the group. We are getting close to almost 1,000 videos in the group, over 180 different topics, so tons and tons of stuff that you'll have access to. You can join anytime, you can quit anytime. I'd love for you to be a part of it if you'd like to learn more. You can visit the link below, mentalmotivation.com/life domination coaching. This is CJ, the Mental Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Mental up.